Good evening to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Before we go to the editorial analysis, let us have a look at the enrichment. As usual, you are going to improve your comprehension skill, effective vocabulary, grammar consolidation, and vocabulary consolidation. And today's current affairs topic is Vaibhav and Vajra schemes, all about research and science. Let us ask the question, what is this editorial about? Am I audible? This editorial is about the Vaibhav Fellowship Program initiated by the Indian government for scientists of Indian origin or ancestry, as well as a pre-existing Vajra faculty scheme with similar objectives. This editorial is all about two schemes. One is related to the scientists, and the name of that scheme is Vaibhav Fellowship Program. Thank you. Thanks for responding. Wish you all a happy Republic Day at the outset. And the second program, pre-existing Vajra faculty scheme. One goes with scientists, the other goes with faculty members. And what are the names of the two schemes? One is Vaibhav, the other one is Vajra. Let us ask the question, what is the tone of the editorial? The tone of the editorial is analytical and thoughtful. Thank you very much. Analytical, analyzing the pros and cons, everything, and thoughtful, providing some sort of insight. The writer discusses the Vaibhav Fellowship Program and its similarities and differences with the Vajra faculty scheme. Thank you very much. As we have two schemes, obviously there's a comparison. The writer tries to tell us the similarities on the one hand and differences on the other hand between the two schemes, providing insights. I use this regularly. Insight means what? Deep understanding, providing insights into the potential benefits, possible benefits, and challenges of these initiatives. In a nutshell, that is about the editorial. How does it start? Exchange of opportunity. They should have written opportunity of exchange or exchange of opportunity on science, the Vaibhav and Vajra programs. But what is the main idea of this editorial? Discuss, not correct about, discuss about wrong, stress on wrong, informed to wrong, order for wrong, comprises of wrong. Very good. Exchange of opportunity on science, the Vaibhav and Vajra programs. But what is the main idea of this editorial? India's research institutes need collaboration. India's research institutes, this is a subject, need, verb, need what? Collaboration, object. But where? Ask the question where? Across the world. At what level? At the highest levels. There are two important phrases: across the world, across the street, across the road. One phrase, at the highest levels, at the lowest levels. Here you have to focus on the definite article the highest, the lowest. Whenever we use the adjective in the superlative form, we have to use a definite article the. Yes, exactly. Very good, Ramesh. I appreciate that. What is the meaning of the word collaboration? Collaborate means to work jointly with others or together, especially in an intellectual endeavor. There are two words over here, intellectual endeavor. I use quite often the word intellectual. Intellect, it comes from the word intellect. I hope I'm not blocking your view. Intellect means what? Knowledge. Intellectual, a knowledgeable person. But you have to recollect, imagine someone is a genius, has a lot of knowledge. Two or three words you have to recollect. First one is polymath. P, polymath. Second one, highbrow. Intellectual, polymath, highbrow, and genius, they all mean the same. There is one idiomatic expression. What is that? Walking encyclopedia. Someone has a lot of knowledge, can talk about any topic, anytime, anywhere. We say he is a walking encyclopedia. And the other word here, endeavor. VOUR or VOR. Endeavor means what? Try hard, taking up a project, pursuing something, and taking the initiative. Anusha has written words like try, hard to achieve success, strive for. Strive for is appropriate. While the center has announced why all this, an important word you have to focus on while. While usually goes with continuous tenses. A lot of students ask me, sir, is there any difference between while and when? While I was teaching, or he came while I was teaching. You can also say he came when I was teaching. No difference whatsoever. Both are correct. And no, do remember, some students think when I was teaching, while I was teaching. Between the two, they think when I was teaching, not correct. No, both mean the same. While I was teaching, he came. And when I was teaching, he came. But why is this? This word while is also in this context, not usually we use with a continuous tense. Do remember? But here it is a contrasting word. What does it express? Contrast. Contrast, while. While the center has announced, again, which tense is this? You have to respond. Present perfect. While the center has announced the first set of recipients, someone receives an award, we say he is a recipient of a fellowship program called Vaibhav, Vaishvik Bharatiya Vaignanik. They have taken VAI, BHA, and the letter V from the three words and have formed a word. What is that? Vaibhav. The premise of the initiative remains intriguing. Intrigue, an important word. First, I'll tell the meanings of the words, and there's something to learn from this sentence. Premise, an idea or theory on which a statement or action is based. It's a noun. Intrigue, intriguing, adjective. Very interesting because of unusual, being unusual or mysterious. Something is mysterious, we use the word, it is intriguing. The first, the second, the third. You have to recall. Now we'll see grammar point of view what we can learn from this sentence. One is while, contrasting word. Second, first, second, third, ordinal numbers, we have to use a definite article the. The first set of recipients, again set is a collective noun, takes a singular verb, singular pronoun, of recipients of a fellowship program called Vaibhav. While the center has announced the premise of the initiative, the idea behind this remains intriguing. Intrigue, something fascinating, more than fascinating, more than interesting, mysterious. When foreigners come to our country, they see certain practices, traditions, culture. They find Indian culture really intriguing. Means what? Unusual and mysterious, important. But basically, what is the meaning of this particular sentence? On the one hand, the center has announced the first set of recipients. That is one thing. But at the same time, the editorial says the premise of the initiative remains intriguing. We don't know what is the reason behind, what is the objective behind. That remains intriguing, mysterious. In this context, mysterious. Very good. We have a new student, Adi Lakshmi Netha. Intrigue, arouse, curiosity, interest of interest or fascinate, attract, lure, tantalize. Yes, engaging also you can say. So many meanings, so many synonyms. Who is eligible? Now it talks about who is eligible. Scientists of Indian origin or of Indian ancestry. There is one word here, ancestry. Ancestry means what? Part of speech noun. A line of descent or your ancestors who lived a long time ago or the origin of your family. Usually we trace great grandfather, grandfather, father, and the son. But if you go beyond great grandfathers, then all those people beyond them, what is the word? We say ancestors. Oh, you are a new student, Bhinu. Welcome to the platform, Bhiru. Good, I've seen that. I welcome to the platform. Ancestors. Ancestry, noun. Ancestors also noun, but ancestors goes with persons. Ancestry, a concept. Scientists, who is eligible? Scientists of Indian origin or of Indian ancestry can apply to spend up to 3 months in a year for 3 years at a host research laboratory in India. Indian scientists or scientists of Indian origin or of Indian ancestry, they have the roots, Indian roots, they can apply to spend up to 3 months. What is the duration? 3 months in a year, and for 3 years, every year, 3 months, like that for 3 years, at a host research lab in India. You all know the word host, guest. But the word host has other meanings. Imagine someone is presenting a program on TV, on stage. On TV, generally we say host, we also say anchor. But on stage, imagine someone is presenting a program, we use a word compare. And if you talk to the defense people, they use two capital letters MC. MC means Master of Ceremonies. Master of Ceremonies. They all mean the same. Host, one who talks about the program. Anchor, these two usually go with, yes, host anchor on TV. But compare goes with stage. MC goes with defense people. What do the letters stand for? Master of ceremonies. Since specific time for time period. Very good, Bhiru. I appreciate that. Scientists of Indian origin or of Indian ancestry can apply to spend up to 3 months in a year for 3 years at a host research lab in India. In that period, this is an important phrase. You can also say during that period. In that period, these researchers are expected to begin a project or technology startup. Are expected to begin. Tell me which tense is that? I expect your response. Researchers are expected to begin a project. Which tense is that? It is hoist, host. Very good. Who is that? Upendra. Wonderful. Host, hoist. Today, Republic Day. Hoist. Relevant word. Independence Day. Flag hoisting. And they come under confusing words. Very good, Upendra. I think a new student. I appreciate that. Here, which tense is that? Now, who is this? Anusha. Very good. It is present tense. But active voice or passive voice? She has already written passive voice. We expect researchers to begin a project. Active voice, present tense. Researchers are expected to begin a project. Present tense, passive voice. Whenever you come across a sentence in active voice or passive voice, direct or indirect, you should know how to change what the other form is. That practice will help in the long run. Here it is in passive voice, same idea, you have to know what it is in active voice. What is it? Imagine the subject is a we. We expect these researchers to begin a project. These researchers are expected by us, we don't mention, to begin a project or technology startup. So when they come to India, what are they supposed to do? What do we expect? We expect those scientists to begin a project or technology startup, build long term connections with the institute, collaborate with the host faculty, and bring in new ideas to the field in Indian university and research settings. All these talk about potential benefits or expectations or objectives or goals when they come to our country and spend. Don't use Bhiru, don't use this one in my platform. That is not acceptable. That is a wrong approach. My students never use that. Please don't use V1, V2, V3. Don't use that at any cost. This platform, we don't. I tell students not to use that because you are a new student. Perhaps you are not aware. Please don't use it next time. Who is it? Ramesh Naidu, you also. Ah, yes, very good. Ramesh Naidu also says don't use. Yes. In that period, these researchers are expected to begin a project or technology startup. One thing, build up. First one is that begin. Second one, build long term connections with the institute. Third one, collaborate with the host faculty. Fourth one, bring in new ideas, obviously, to the field where in Indian university and research settings. A lengthy sentence, easy to understand. As a program gains momentum, what is the meaning? Part of speech noun, the quality that keeps an event developing or making progress after it has started. Some project starts and something keeps it moving or growing. Then we use the word momentum. As a program gains, usually takes the verb gains, gain momentum. We also use the verb achieve. As a program achieves momentum, gains momentum, officials say. Here, officials say, university, you have to recollect, very good, Ramesh Naidu. A university, not an university, a university, a universal rule, a, a universal rule. Is it right or wrong? A European city. Wonderful. Here, officials say, why is this important? Please answer. Why is the word say important, the verb? Whenever you come across words like said, told, ordered, asked, requested, what are you supposed to think of? Indirect speech. Indirect speech. These are reporting verbs. The tenses, then what happens? Tenses change to a corresponding past tense, obviously. But if the reporting verb is in present tense, here it is in present tense. Then you have to recollect the rule. If the reporting verb is in present, present perfect, or future, the tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. As a program gains momentum, officials say new kinds of relationships could emerge. Now, smart students will ask me, Sir, you said we cannot change, the tenses don't change. How come the word could here? Here, helping verb could does not relate to tenses. Generally, we say can present form, could present form. But these models have specific functions. Here, could talks about possibility. Possibility, chances are less. Looks like we have a problem with the stylus. Chances are less. Nothing to do with tenses. Direct speech also could. Indirect speech also could. Officials say something. What do they say? New kinds of relationships could emerge. Relationships could emerge. Means what? Possible to emerge, but the chances are less. The Indian origin faculty could be encouraged to take on students, more associates, and even supervised degrees that could lead to. Now, what can Indian origin faculty could do? They could be encouraged. Again, answer my question. Is this active voice or passive voice? They could be encouraged. It is passive voice. We could encourage Indian origin faculty. Active voice. Indian origin faculty could be encouraged. Passive voice. To take on students. One, more associates, students and more associates, and even supervised degrees that could lead to. a genuine transfer of knowledge. Third one, innovation and work culture. And perhaps optimistically, the non resident Indian scientist, even considering staying on in India, they have to do all these things. And eventually, optimistically, the non resident Indian scientist, even considering staying on in India, they come from somewhere and finally they stay here. That is good for the country, for the science in country. Now it talks about Vaibhav is not an original idea, another scheme. Vaibhav, optimistic, pessimistic, two words. Anshu, yes. Vaibhav is not an original idea. During this government's tenure means what? The period or term of holding something, holding power. The chief minister, during his tenure, a standard expression, what does it mean? The time period he had the power. Vaibhav is not an original idea. During this government's tenure itself, an important word. Tell me which part of speech is it? Itself is either an emphatic pronoun or a reflexive pronoun. They have the same forms. Emphatic pronoun, emphatic pronoun, or a reflexive pronoun. So they have the same forms. And there are two rules you have to recollect. A common error, a lot of people say myself and the name. Is it right or wrong? Wrong. Why is it wrong? You should not begin a sentence with an emphatic or a reflexive pronoun. You have to say for that idea, you have to say, I am the name, my name is. Two patterns are there. Myself, Murthy, wrong. I am Murthy. My name is Murthy. Never use myself at the time of the interview. They may ask, tell us about yourself. Don't start with myself and your name. That is wrong. We cannot begin a sentence with an emphatic or a reflexive pronoun. And coming to the use of emphatic pronoun, you want to stress something. Then, very good. I appreciate your response. Then you have to say, I myself completed the work. When I say I myself completed the work, what does it mean? No one else. I'm trying to emphasize I completed the work. I myself completed the work. The second rule, that is also a common error. A lot of people, they use an emphatic or a reflexive pronoun in place of a personal pronoun. A lot of people say, my friend and myself completed the work. Is this right or wrong? Or my friend and myself met the director yesterday. Right or wrong? Wrong. Met the director yesterday. Wrong. Why is it wrong? Here we have the pronoun in the subject position. When the pronoun is in the subject position, we should not use reflexive form or emphatic form or object form. We have to use a subject form. Wow, very good. It's wrong. What is the correct sentence? My friend and I. Another common error, a lot of people say, I and my friend. That is also wrong order. I should be at the end. Because if you look at the correct order of pronouns, we have three rules. First one, two, three, one. Second person, third person, first person. Second one, if you two, three, one, singular pronouns. If you use plural pronouns, then one, two, three. And if you're admitting a mistake or if you're confessing, then also one, two, three. All the three rules you have to recollect. Very good. Naidu Paidi. So much about the word itself. Vaibhav is not an original idea. During this government's tenure itself, the Department of Science and Technology, DST, conceived, we got this word the other day. What are the two meanings of conceived? One is to become pregnant. but not relevant here. What is the other meaning? To think of an idea, to think of a project. For that, we also say brainchild, conceived the Vajra. Who conceived this idea? The Department of Science and Technology, or DST. The DST conceived the Vajra, the other one. This is an acronym. Visiting Advanced Joint Research Faculty Scheme with similar objectives. There are two words you have to know. One is abbreviation. Please answer what is the difference between abbreviation and acronym. Brainchild. Very good. Answer this question. What is the difference between abbreviation and acronym? If I write a BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, I have taken the first letters from different words I have written while saying I pronounce every letter BBC. That is an abbreviation. But I take the first letters from different words, I form a word. What is that? If I say, I don't say NATO, I say NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And scuba. How many of you know scuba diving? Please answer. Many of you may not know scuba is an acronym. And what do the letters stand for? Self contained underwater breathing apparatus. Scuba diving. People go underwater with a mask, snorkel, oxygen cylinder, flippers, all these. The whole thing is called scuba diving. Ah, you know, wonderful. That's very good. Scuba. If you know scuba, I appreciate. Only a few know. What do the letters stand for? Self contained underwater breathing apparatus. Scuba is also an acronym. That now the sentence is about the differences between these two. The differences in the two schemes are minor, not major, minor. Vaibhav is exclusively for the Indian diaspora, while Vajra can include other nationalities too. Here we are talking about two schemes, and one scheme, Vaibhav, exclusively means only for the Indian diaspora. We have got this many a time, an important word. Diaspora, part of speech, noun. What does it mean? A group of people who spread from one original country to other countries. Today, if you go to the US, so many Indians are there. If you go to the UK, so many Indians are there. All these Indians in the US or in the UK, what is the word for those Indians? We use a word diaspora. And we say Indian diaspora, an important word. It says Vaibhav is exclusively for the Indian diaspora, means people of Indian origin or ancestry, while Vajra can include other nationalities too. American can come, Britisher can come, but here diaspora Vaibhav goes only with a scientist of Indian origin. Someone has written so many words. Who is this? A new student, Adi Lakshmi. Diaspora, a lot of words like related words: emigration, exodus, immigration, evacuation, flight, retirement, departure, departing, withdrawal. Very good, Adi Lakshmi. I appreciate Adi Lakshmi Netha. I appreciate. Wonderful. Dispersion, Divya, yes. Diaspora, dispersion, scattering, exodus, mass migration of people. Now coming to Vajra. Vajra, though another difference between the two. Vajra, though generous, generous part of speech adjective, willing to give money, help, kindness, especially more than is usual or expected. Someone expects 100 rupees from you. You give 200 or 500. Then the person may say, sir or ma'am, you are generous. Though generous in the amount offered as fellowships, Vajra, though generous in the amount offered as fellowships, was restricted to 1 year engagements. Vajra is only for 1 year, unlike Vaibhav, which pays less but extends to 3 years. Simple. Vajra is only for 1 year but pays more. Vaibhav is for 3 years but pays less. And there's one important word here, unlike. When you join two subjects using expressions like with, together with, along with, as well as, like, unlike, besides, in addition to, no less than, nothing but, any of these, the verb agrees with the first subject. They have given in so many exams. Look at the sentence: the minister, as well as the party workers, have been arrested. Answer my question: is the sentence right or wrong? Again, Adilakshmi, generous, so many, magnanimous, wonderful word. Multificient, munificent, open handed, free handed, boisterous, prodigal. But they have other meanings. Prodigal, perhaps we cannot use here, it has a negative connotation. It is wrong. Our students answer immediately. They have given so many times. New students, you have to learn. Generally, what happens, a typical candidate focuses on workers, plural, have been arrested, plural, and thinks the sentence is right. But here the clue for you: as well as. Then there are two subjects. First one, the minister, subject one. Party workers, subject two. As I said, I have mentioned all those things. When we use any of those, in that we have as well as, the verb agrees with the first subject. What is the first subject over here? Minister. Minister, singular. Then we cannot say have been. What are we supposed to say? The minister, as well as, put in brackets, the party workers, put in brackets. Then you ask, the minister have been arrested, or the minister has been arrested? Has been arrested. Yes, Ramesh says prodigal, spendthrift, lavishing, extravagant. All negative words. That's what. Very good, Ramesh. I appreciate. When it comes to spending money, there are some words you have to know. One is thrifty, the other one frugal. These are positive words. Some people spend money carefully, thrifty, frugal. On the other hand, some people spend money lavish, extravagant, prodigal, prodigy, a different word, prodigal, spendthrift. All these words are negative. They spend money without thinking. And economical, very good. Who is that? Economical, Naidu Paidi. Thrifty, frugal. You can also use the word economical. Very good. All positive words. What are the negative words? Lavish, extravagant, prodigal, spendthrift. And some people have a lot of money, but they don't spend. Then what is the word for those people? Old English, miser. Now we say stingy. Stingy. He's a stingy guy. Very good. I appreciate. The DST, which is in charge of both schemes. Again, our students will come up with both. Immediately they recollect both as well as wrong, both and correct. Which is in charge of both schemes, says, this is something very important. This is what I was talking about. Ecstasy means to be extremely happy, a different one. Says, reporting verb is in reporting verb. In which tense? Present tense. Then you have to recollect the rule. What is the rule? The tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. What is the tense over here? That nearly 70 international faculty have spent. Here it is in present perfect. They must have said the same thing, present perfect. Now you have to know what it is in direct speech. Officials say, comma, inverted commas. Here, official, we are talking about the DST. Or the DST says, comma, inverted commas, nearly 70 international faculty have spent time in India, inverted commas. When you change to indirect speech, because the reporting verb is in present, present perfect does not change. But imagine, on the other hand, The DST said, then how does the sentence change? The DST said that nearly 70 international faculty had spent time. Present perfect changes to past perfect. The DST, that is a subject, and which is in charge of both schemes, a clause. The DST says that nearly 70 international faculty have spent time in India as part of Vajra. Though there have been concerns over the effectiveness of the scheme, 70 international faculty, good. They have spent time in India as part of Vajra scheme. But there is a problem. What is the problem? Though a contrasting word. There have been concerns. Answer my question. There have been concerns. Which tense is this? Over the effectiveness of the scheme. To what extent it has been effective? Concerns. It is in present perfect tense. But answer active voice or passive voice? That I want you guys to answer. Effect, you have to recollect. Answer this one. It is in active voice, not in passive voice. Many students, the moment they see been, they think passive voice. Don't do that. There have been something, and there has been something. He has been something. Here it is in present perfect, active voice, not in passive voice. Currently, officials say reporting verb in present tense. Usually, the officials said both schemes would continue, but here officials say both schemes will continue. No change. Very important from the exam point of view. While facilitating exchange between Indian and foreign universities is welcome, as I said, while used to express contrast, while facilitating exchange between Indian and foreign universities is welcome, that is a good thing. There ought to be clarity. Here you can also think of there should be clarity. There ought to be formal, should be informal, old English. Now, Western parts ought to be, it has become outdated. Who is this? Upendra, how to find out? You have to learn the topics. Two topics you cannot do just like that. When it comes to English grammar, exam point of view, two topics are difficult and important. One is active voice, passive voice. The other one, direct speech, indirect speech. Especially if you are preparing for SSC, these two topics are extremely important. But to learn these two topics, to master these two topics at the outset, it is a prerequisite to master tenses. If you are good at tenses, you can master these. Otherwise, thank you. Wish you the same, Sarvesh. Uh, Otherwise, you cannot master. It talks about it's a good thing. There ought to be clarity on what India hopes to gain. What does India get by specially focusing on the Indian diaspora? What do they get? That is a question. Through the decades, much ink has been spilled. Yes, it is a helping verb or model. Be careful with the spelling of model. What is the spelling? If you think of this one, you'll go off their track, not advisable. Fashion shows, models, catwalk, Miss India, Miss Universe. At this stage, not at all advisable. It is MODAL. Here, who is this Upendra? No, you have to learn properly. Imagine someone has taught you well. There's no confusion whatsoever. Through the decades, much ink has been spilled. Here it is in present perfect, passive voice, has been spilled. What is the verb in past participle form here? Spill, spilled, spilt. You can use as a regular verb, as an irregular verb. Much ink has been spilled on the problem of brain drain. Brain drain, an important concept you may get as a passage. Many a time they have given. What is this brain drain? India has been facing this problem since 1980s. What exactly is this problem? Today, if you take the best brains in our country, IITs and IIMs, students of IITs, students of IIMs, the best brains. Gone, spill the beans. You have to recollect that idiom. Very good, I do. And these students of IITs and IIMs, government spends a lot of money. And after getting the training education in this country, they go to some other country. They offer the services to that country. That is known as brain drain. The emigration of highly trained or qualified people from a particular country to another country. That is brain drain. Through the decades, much ink has been spilt on the problem of brain drain, where talented researchers went abroad for want of commensurate opportunities in India. Now, if you ask a question, why do we have this problem of brain drain? IITs, IIMs, once they get the best education, they come out of the campus, they look for a very good ambience environment to bring out their talent, but they don't find opportunities. They look for opportunities, matching opportunities. They don't find want of, lack of. Commensurate opportunities means what? Matching, suitable in amount or quality compared to something else, matching in degree. They don't have commensurate opportunities in India, they go abroad. That can be justified. That's what it talks about. While economics and individual proclivities, proclivity, an important word, means the fact that someone likes something or likes to do something. They want to go abroad. They prefer going abroad. While economics, money also matters. Dollars more, Indian rupees less. While economics and individual proclivities heavily influence such decisions, short term fellowships are useful in priming foreign faculty and researchers to the potential for science in India. Short term fellowships are useful in priming, a part of speech verb, to tell someone to tell someone something that will prepare them for a particular situation. Tell someone something so that they do that or they are prepared for a particular situation. They can also lay bare, an important idiomatic expression. Lay bare means what? To make something known, to make something public. Here you have two important words. One is lie, lie noun. Lie is also a regular verb. As a regular verb, lie, lied, lied. It can also be an irregular verb. As an irregular verb, lie, lay, lain. As an irregular verb, it has two meanings. One is to be in a horizontal position while relaxing. The other one to be in a particular state for a long time. And here, past is lay. We have a separate verb. Lay, laid, laid. Means what? To put something down. Important examples: babies, eggs, things, foundation stone, rules, restrictions, and also roads. Anusha has written all those. Important. Again, bare means not covered. Someone has written barefoot. Who is that? Anshu. Very good. Barefoot, bare feet means what? Without footwear. And grammar I use quite often. Bare infinitive. What is bare infinitive? Infinitive means a basic form of a verb with to. When we say bare infinitive without to, they can also lay bare the challenges. Now, what are the challenges based on these two schemes? The lack of funding for basic research, first one. The lack of participation by private companies in core research and development, second one. And limits on academic freedom, third one. And trigger changes in policy, fourth one. All these are challenges we have to think of or consider. If you go to Western countries, research, the research scholar decides a topic. But in our country, the guide decides the topic. There is no academic freedom. The sentence talks about that. Lack of, dearth of, insufficient, wonderful. The tremendous competition for tenured jobs means a particular time period. In American and European universities, competition, tremendous, huge competition, means that there is a vast pool of skilled scientific power trained abroad who can be brought back or retained in India. In the US, in Europe, Many universities see tremendous competition among the scientific manpower. It means what? There is a vast pool of skilled scientific manpower. What are we supposed to do? And all of them trained abroad, who can be brought back. We can bring them back active voice. They can be brought back passive voice or retained in India. Make them stay in India. Rat race, also you can say. Realistic expectations. Realistic adjective, expectations noun. Must, already we have got so many times, a personal obligation or to convey the idea something is compulsory. Must be the touchstone. Many a time our students have written touchstone. Means what? A standard or criterion by which something is judged. Usually we come across the word hallmark and you can use touchstone. Realistic expectations must be the touchstone of such engagements. Expectation should be practical, realistic. It remains to be seen if the presume, verb, presumption, noun. Presume means what? To believe something to be true because it is very likely, although you are not certain. Yardstick also, Naidu, very good. Yardstick. Benchmark, Biru, very good. I appreciate. And Tripura Sundari, yardstick, standard, touchstone. And look at the other words as well. Tremendous, huge, behemoth, copious, gigantic. Who is this Anu? Wonderful. I appreciate all those students who have contributed. It remains to be seen if the presumption that scientists of Indian origin will be likelier to stay back. We are not sure. It's a presumption. They may stay back, they may not stay back. Indicated by the ethno nationalist restriction will bear fruit. We have to wait and see whether it will bear fruit or not. We are not quite sure. Will bear fruit means what? Will give a positive result. That's all about the editorial. I have done elaborately in detail an important editorial. Usually, I don't take this long. Today, a lot of grammar related aspects. It has taken 47 minutes. Usually, I spend about 30 minutes on editorial analysis. Today, I think for the first time, 47 minutes. Anyhow, look at the questions to improve your reading comprehension skill. The first one: what is the primary objective of Vaibhav Fellowship Program? To provide short-term research opportunities for international scientists, to encourage collaboration between Indian and foreign universities, to address brain drain by attracting scientists of Indian origin, to promote technology startups in Indian research institutes. Vaibhav, what is the primary objective? There's one particular word, the main idea. Yes, what is it? No, 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 no. Not C, not C. What is the main idea of the editorial? Go to the main idea of the editorial. Collaboration, one particular word. What is it? Thank you very much, Biru. Answer is to encourage collaboration. That is the main idea. First collaboration, then scientists, faculty come into picture. Answer is B. No one has answered except Anusha, B. Others have chosen C. One or two students, Rangan, I think Gautami has chosen D. Now I see some students B. B is the answer. Primary objective. When you read a question, you have to focus on the key words. What is the primary objective? The primary objective is collaboration between Indian and foreign universities. Brain drain is nothing but intelligent people of this country going abroad. That is known as exactly Ramesh. Editorial starts with the word collaboration. What is the first word you have got today? Collaboration. How does a Vaibhav program differ from the Vajra faculty scheme? Some differences have been mentioned in the editorial. How does it differ? Vaibhav is exclusively for non-Indians, while Vajra includes scientists of Indian origin. Vajra, it is the other way. Vajra offers longer engagements, while Vaibhav is limited to 1 year. Vaibhav allows for a 3-year engagement, while Vajra is limited to 1 year. Vajra is focused on technology startup. Vaibhav allows for 3-year engagement, every year 3 months, while Vajra is limited to 1 year. Answer is this one. What challenges does the editorial mention regarding the brain drain issue? What challenges does it mention? The editorial. Lack of private company participation in research, limited academic freedom in Indian research institutes, shortage of skilled scientific manpower in India, all of the above. Exactly. 3 months for 3 years. Perfect. What challenges does the editorial mention regarding the brain drain issue? Why is this brain drain? Lack of private company participation in research, yes. Limited academic freedom in Indian research institutes, yes. Shortage of skilled scientific manpower in India, yes. And based on that, what is the answer? Answer is all of the above. D is the answer. Very good. According to the editorial, what is the potential benefit of short term fellowships for foreign faculty in India? Benefits, potential benefit, possible benefit of short term fellowships for foreign faculty in India. Encouraging brain drain? No. Highlighting challenges in Indian research? No. Fostering long term connections with Indian institutes? Yes. Limiting academic freedom? No. What is the answer for question number 4? C is the answer. Now, please mention the question number. No, no. Benefit, it talks about benefit. Challenge means problem. Benefit, long term connections with Indian institutes, fostering, developing long term connections with Indian institutes. What does the editorial suggest should be the touchstone of engagements with scientists of Indian origin? What should be the criterion? What should be the hallmark? What should be the touchstone benchmark when it comes to engaging scientists of Indian origin? Ethno nationalist restrictions, realistic expectations. That's what the editorial says. Encouraging brain drain. Why will it do? Maximizing private company participation. Not correct. No, 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 no. Answer is how come A? It is B. What does the editorial suggest should be the touchstone of engagements with scientists of Indian origin? When it comes to engaging scientists of Indian origin, what should be the criterion? What should they keep in mind? Realistic expectations. Answer is it is not ethno nationalist. Here suggest. What does it suggest? It says the expectation should be realistic, practical, pragmatic. We got so many words yesterday. What time is it? Try to answer quickly. 20 words. Write the part of speech and write the meaning, the key word. You don't have to write the complete meaning. Status quo. We got yesterday. Existing affairs, present condition, current condition. Part of speech, noun. Oh, who is this? Thank you very much, Ramesh Naidu. Yes, today's editorial has been quite useful. We have touched so many aspects related to grammar and important aspects from competitive exams point of view. And in current affairs, they may ask questions related to Vajra, related to Vaibhav. That is also an important today's editorial very important. Hostilities, hostility, part of speech noun, antagonism, enmity, animosity. Very good, Divya. Antipathy. Wonderful. Persist. Please write the part of speech if possible. That helps in the long run. Exist. Continue to exist. Very good. Tripura Sundari. First one to respond. Ethnic. Related to what? Ethnicity. Ethnic fashion, ethnic tradition, ethnic race, ethnic group, ethnic practices. Traditional. Wonderful. Break out a phrasal verb. Persist. It can be a verb. Persistence, noun. Ethnic, adjective. Breakout is what? Phrasal verb. Start suddenly. What does it go with? Ethnic wear. Wonderful. Anshu. Start suddenly. War, clashes, diseases, fire, volcanic eruptions. Dwelling, noun, but dwell, verb. The place where you live with your family. Habitat. Ah, very good, Anusha. Habitat. The home of a particular plant or animal. Today we talk about loss of habitat, habitat loss. You can get it as a passage. Polarization, obviously noun, but don't learn that way. Dwell, don't think of the past. Don't dwell on the past. Don't brood over the past. Very good, Ganesh. You have to recollect. Don't think of the past. Deep thinking, Tripura Sundari, contemplating, introspecting, all these, being in a pensive mood, all these words you have to recollect. Disrupt, we have got so many times. Disruption, noun, disrupt verb. What does it mean? Interrupt, it goes with services, a process. Who is this? Naidu Paidi says, don't dwell on the past, don't brood over the past, hark back, brood over. Yes, very good. I appreciate that, Naidu. For what? Deliberations, deliberate verb, but you have to know the deliberations, noun. To think deeply, to discuss, deliberations, discussions, serious discussions. Heckle has a different connotation, Anu. Heckle means insulting someone. Someone does something, then you heckle. Means what? You say something or your behavior, non-verbal, you try to heckle, means you try to insult that person. Compound can be an adjective, but based on the editorial, a verb. What does it mean? The problems have been compounded. Make worse. Add fuel to the fire. Add insult to injury. Very good, Tripura Sundari. Who is this? Anusha says widespread, omnipresent, ubiquitous. For which one? Pervasive. But here we have one more, thought. Usually it goes with food items, but in the context of the editorial, friendly, yes, amicable, cordial, relax, right. And pervasive, present everywhere. Pervasive means what? Present everywhere. Chauvinist, part of speech, pervasive adjective, chauvinist, noun. Male chauvinist means what? A person who thinks men are superior to women. What is the word for that person? Male chauvinist, an important word. Rely on, phrasal verb. Depend on, de facto, Excuse me. Based on facts. And what is the other one you have to recollect? De jure means based on legality, legal, fact based. Predominance noun, the most important thing. Brandishing, showing something and threatening, usually a weapon. Brandish verb, brandishing noun, an important word. Dominant, principal, important, yes, that's right. Very good. Vitiate, an important word, part of speech verb. Write the meaning of the word vitiate. Vitiate means what? Spoil, spoil something. Spoil. Peril, perilous. Perilous means perils, noun, perilous, adjective. Dangerous. Spoil is the exact word. And cessation, part of speech noun. End something, stop something. Cessation of war, cessation of something, ending something. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me. And tomorrow they will not publish the editorial. Today is a public holiday. You cannot expect the editorial session tomorrow because the Hindu paper does not publish the editorial the next day after a public holiday. And Sunday, as such, no editorial. I will see you guys most probably on Monday. Have a nice weekend. Thanks for being with me. Yesterday, someone asked, Sir, what is that? Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. FAG, fag, end means what? Till the end of the session. That's what it means. And do remember to subscribe and share. Thank you. Thank you very much. Most probably from Monday, Haripriya, I'll be starting mini mocks and other things. Not tomorrow, not day after tomorrow, but I may announce most probably from Monday. Please wait with your fingers crossed. Thank you.